welcome to the Metalheads podcast, Decibel Metal and Beer Fest edition. This is Jay.
This is John.
This is Paul. I'm hanging out.
Okay, so this is going to be a problem. We're actually just walking in line, looking forward to the show. You just heard the voices of John Burkle, the Travis. You heard the voice of Paul Grossfield and Sergiy Trueshell of Catatonic Society fame. Just wanted to get an intro here so that when we meet some bands inside, it doesn't just start there. All right, onward. All right, checking in here tonight. We are standing here with Phil in the smoking section of the Metalhead, Decibel Metal and Beer Fest. Anyway, hey Phil, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Your set's coming up in, what time you guys going on?
Like 2 hours from now, like around 7.
2 hours from now, and I believe you said about a 40-minute set.
Yep.
What will the emphasis be on the new record?
Yeah, for sure. We're promoting that one right now, but you'll still see like a throwback to Hunted. We're playing most of the new record though tonight.
Most of the new record. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, 4 out of 6 ain't bad. So I think it's really fun actually because we've been on this tour with Black Dahlia, and obviously they skew a little bit like more metal than like what we've been used to doing tours with. And so it was kind of fun. I'm glad that we had this new record so that we could put together a set list that we felt was like sufficiently like compelling to that crowd, you know? And so the songs are like skewed towards like some of the faster, like more rocking shit. And then we just dropped a big, fat, slow, long one right in the middle for tonight so that we could take up the time, you know?
So that's tonight. So in other words, you're playing the Black Dahlia set list plus one.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And we're
play pretty nice to a festival crowd that, you know, sort of in the middle of the day, people are just starting to get a buzz on. Like, why not try and like compel them to mosh to a doom band? That's always a fun challenge, you know? So far, we've been pretty successful on this run at doing that. So we'll see what happens, I guess.
How many shows were on this run? And I know that tonight is essentially the last night because as we were just talking about, we talked to Dan a couple weeks ago for Glacial Tomb. 2 weeks ago, I think it was. Or Dan. Ben. Thanks. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. And I will say this, it's loud in there, and I was just like, hey, Dan. And he was like, hey. So he must have thought I said Ben. Sorry, Ben. But in any case, you guys are jumping off the tour now, so how many dates was it that you were on?
Just 3 dates. Yeah, a lot of driving for 3 dates, but it's been super fun. It's like all the theaters have been really cool. We've never played any of them before, so that's always kind of fun. It's just like a good opportunity for us to play to a fan base that would probably not necessarily check us out ordinarily if like they're into like I like Cannibal Corpse and Black Dahlia Murder. Like that crowd, like, you know, hopefully we're winning 40 fans a night or maybe 100 fans a night, or I'm optimistic.
Well, how has in the visible and or audible response been?
It's been awesome. Actually, like it seems like a lot of people at the shows have been familiar with us because there's a lot of people that have been singing all along. The perfect example was in Portland. The fucking power went out while we were playing, and so everything was dead. So Zach just kept playing drums. It was during Three Gates, which is one of our songs from Hunted, and it's during the chorus. So I just started singing as loud as I possibly could, and a bunch of people in the crowd were singing along enough that it was like a fucking campfire sing-along. It was amazing. So like I had no expectation that would happen with like Black Dahlia's fan base, but it seems like they actually have taken to us pretty well, and that like a lot of them have been familiar. So you know, like I said, like there's been a bunch of people like trying to mosh at our set, you know, like maybe 4 times during the set, and I was always like, that's a new fucking record. So it's been awesome. It's not what I was expecting. I just thought that it would be like a little harder to sort of court that fan base, but it wasn't.
I'll be honest with you, I would have expected that you would have told me the same thing. So yeah, I know that you guys are dropping off, according to Ben, and I'm assuming according to you, we talked a little bit before we turned the recorder because you guys really want to see Triptychon do some Celtic Frost. Give me 3 songs that you're really hoping to hear.
Oh.
It could be from any range, and I'm hoping at least one of them will be from Monotheist.
Oh my god. Fuck. Einholm would be sick. And then I'm probably gonna say like the Usurper. And really like I don't I don't really care. I think anything from Morbid Tales, and I think that they'll probably play a number of songs from there. I don't really fucking care.
We'll hear Procreation from the Wicked, I feel sure. We'll hear Dethroned Emperor, probably, that kind of thing.
That would probably be my pick, would be Dethroned Emperor, but I'm totally fine with anything.
What the fuck do you care? You'll take it. Yeah. Let me ask you this. You think you have any hopes of meeting Tom?
I mean, I hope so. I don't know if we get backstage or not, like, tomorrow, so I'm not sure how realistic it is. Honestly, I'd probably be pretty intimidated to meet him. I don't usually get that way with people, but, like, he's, like, one that, I don't know, it's just, like, so fucking intense. But I hope it works out. Like, I would love to just shake his hand.
I will tell you this. There's a documentary I saw about Celtic Frost in which he met some fans backstage at the Fillmore Auditorium in San Francisco, and he was the most nicest guy in the world, and he was just like, I can't believe you like us so much. So maybe. We'll see. But and my hope is to maybe get to interview him. We've got a slot where it might work at the sound check. And honestly, I'll sneak you in if you want to come with me.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll do it.
Okay, it's right after the sound check. Honestly, I'm going to wrap it up there. You got a show coming up. And since you were standing here, we were bullshitting. I just wanted to put Khemmis back on the air again.
No, of course, man. Thanks a lot. It's good to see you. Is anybody else from the crew coming out, or is it just you covering it this time?
Just me. I got some buddies with me. A guy from my band is here, and another friend of mine who we've had on the podcast before. The other fellas couldn't make the trip, but we'll all be out in Philly together. So they're all here in, what's the word? In spirit. And honestly, they will be pleased that I talked to you. So.
Oh yeah, thanks for the interview.
All right, it's update time here. And we're out in the smoking section, and we've had about 10 beers each, 3 ounces to be fair. But let's just check in on the fest yet. We haven't watched one single fucking band. But how you guys having? Everybody having fun?
This is John, and yeah, it's been pretty fun. We had some awesome beers, and I actually looked in on a band, and it didn't seem that interesting. I think it was Pounder. Yeah, nothing special. So hopefully some better bands later.
What are your favorite beers so far? And I'm going to go around. Sergey, do you remember what your favorite was?
No.
Perfect. That means he's had a lot. Paul?
I like the Space Factory. It was weird and strong.
Space Force.
Space Force. Sorry, I was thinking Moose Factory.
Space Force.
Space Force.
Space Force is the Dark Lord 2019.
And it was 2018. It was chocolatey. It was sweet. It was fucking brutal. It was quite good, actually.
Toxic chocolate milk, basically. Yeah.
Toxic chocolate milk. Perfectly put. And we are still having trouble, by the way, sorting out our passes. I did have a talk already with Albert from Decibel, and he's like, I'm so sorry, dude. They fucked up every single person's passes. We've heard this from like 3 people now, including Gimme Radio. So we're approaching the time when Dave Mustaine is going to be in the building. We don't have passes yet. We're hoping for the best, but we're still having a good time. Everybody's, on a drunk scale, how are we all doing?
Pretty good. Yeah. And I didn't.
1 to 10.
I'd say an 8, and I didn't mention my beer. I'm really happy about trying the True beers. I thought both of them were good. One of them's very sour and tart, but yeah.
It was Cursed and Cosmic something. And I'd had the Cursed before. They actually sold that in my town, believe it or not. Or maybe I had it at the last Decibel. I'm going to go ahead and put myself at a 7 on the drunk scale. Paul?
I'm going to go with a 5 just because I haven't peed yet.
Fair enough. You know what? I haven't peed either. That's a good point. I'm going to go down to 6. Sergey?
2.
A 2. That's it. That's all. Remember, he's Eastern European. It's hard for him to get above a 4. But I will say this. Pretty nice. I see the lead singer from Pig Destroyer from where we're standing. I'm going to go say hi to him. And we are going to wrap it up real quick. We love you all.
Okay, let's
All
go.
right. Hey.
Metallica. Go.
That's the drunk introduction to what's about to happen here.
Like their 5th album.
We're out at the smoking section again. I was trying to grab J.R. Hayes, but he was talking to somebody else. And John was just about to say,
Metal. Metallica only made like 3.
this is not going to work. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Okay, Metallica only made like 3 good albums. Load, Reload, and Sen Anger.
Oh,
Do some shit disturbing now.
Okay, so the guy who just said that, actually, this is a good Metalheads thing. What happened was we were walking around tonight and we found a set of headphones on the fucking ground. We picked them up, and then I'm standing out here talking to Phil from Khemmis, and the guy walks by and he goes, man, I wish I could find my headphones. And I was like, dude, we found a fucking set of headphones. So anyway, we took this guy in. He found John. John had his headphones. That was the guy who just said he was going to go do some disturbing. Anyway, we're checking in here tonight at the Decibel Fest. Necrot is on stage right now. We're out here smoking and drinking. Khemmis is up next. That's why we're out here smoking and drinking. And John was just about to go on a rant about why the Black Album sucks.
Yeah, it just sucks. I actually wasn't going on a rant, but I did watch two songs of Necrot and was very happy. They're pretty awesome. That was the first band of the night that I actually watched. No one else has watched anything. But Necrot is killing it. They're doing great, and I'd like to watch more, but there's too much stuff going on, too many people around, and it's too fun to hang out outside of there. But Khemmis is up next, so here we go.
And so, further update, we're actually having trouble, and Albert and everybody else from Decibel is really pissed off because the Wiltern Theater has made press passes almost impossible.
Let's drink.
There you go, little side quest from the man there. We are trying to get our press passes. I believe we will have them for tomorrow night. Tonight does not look good, but apparently the Wiltern is a bunch of bitches to work with. When I touched Albert, his shirt was covered with sweat, and it's because he's stressed out. I took a picture, sent it to the boys. Albert was holding his own head, saying how stressed out he was. So long story short, we're having a great time, but we haven't been able to penetrate the press pool yet. But we did see J.R. Hayes from Pig Destroyer just a minute ago, and I think we're going to be able to grab him for an interview. And as you've already heard, we got Phil.
But he wouldn't talk to you because you're too drunk.
That's not exactly true, but it's close to true. We will check in with you in a little while. Metal. All right, this is Jay checking in again. The boys are standing behind me. We're all walking to try to find a good brewery to get a beer. I just wanted a more sane moment here to check in. Khemmis will be on soon. We're going to grab a beer, see what we can do. All right, so we're out here in the smoking section again, and John is having a rant about the PMRC, which I think is a very relevant thing for our show. And we're talking about how was it that Tipper Gore had a problem with Twisted Fucking Sister when Merciful Fate existed. I'm a little drunk. I said Merciful Fate. Here we go.
So I was just pointing out that Tipper Gore was freaked out about all these early metal bands, but the examples she brought up were Twisted Sister or Motley Crue and Wasp. And all I could think of was if she happens to notice any of the bands we actually like, we're all screwed. Because Venom was around at that time doing satanic black metal, which would definitely have caused the Republicans to go a little crazy.
This brings me to a moment that I'll tell a story, you guys, where I went to a friend of mine, and this was when I lived in Missouri. I was probably 15 years old, 16 years old, and a friend of mine says, hey, we're going to have pizza at my church on Friday. And I was like, okay, I'll come. Free pizza. Fuck yeah. So, no, this was in Missouri. Church of Satan, San Francisco, no. So I go, and it's not free pizza. I mean, there is free pizza. Good.
You have to pay.
You have to sell your soul.
But
Sell your soul. You don't get pizza.
But what ends up happening is there's this preacher there, and this preacher is preaching about rock and roll. And one of the things he read was the back of a Venom record that says, we spit at the virgin you worship and sit at Lord Satan's left hand. And he says, these guys are playing for keeps. And I was just like, yeah, well, they are, to be honest with you. They are.
Have you seen people who play for money?
That's a fair question by Sergiy. Worst podcast ever.
We're signing out.
We're signing out. Okay, we're back. Sergey's going to tell a story.
Okay, so Tipper Gore was born on the cemetery under the sign of the moon. She was raised from her grave by the dead, and she was made a mercenary in the Legions of Hell. That's my typical gore story.
All right, we're checking in. We got Dan here. Khemmis played their set, and after them, Pig Destroyer both killed. How you enjoying the fest, Dan?
I am enjoying the fest. No, it's good. It's great. I mean, amazing bands, amazing people, amazing beer. Nothing not to like about this fest.
What beers have you tried that you've enjoyed? I'll put you on the spot. I know.
True beer. I drink true beer exclusively. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's cool. Yeah, actually, have you had a couple true things?
Yeah, I had. Oh God, what's
Cursed is they're playing Cursed tonight, and what was the other one? Cosmic something.
Cursed? I had Cursed.
Yeah. Which, by the way, where's Zach? Is he around?
He is probably by the True Table.
By the True Table. All right.
To Mike Faley from Metal Blade is here, and we're like, we've met him and known him for a couple years, and we're hanging out with him probably.
Well, let's back up a step. You guys just got off a 4-date tour. How was the tour? We already got to talk to Phil about it. He was pretty impressed with what you guys went through. And this is the last stop. So how did you enjoy it?
It's great. Black Dahlia is great live, man. Holy shit. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised because they're professionals that have been doing it a long time. But I guess I wasn't surprised, but just super impressive every night. Yeah.
So this is John. So I know you guys are sticking around for tomorrow. So aside from Triptychon, who are you most excited about seeing?
You're going to have to edit this. I don't fucking even know, man.
Triptychon.
I just got in the van and we're here.
And you were like, well, I mean, are you?
I don't know.
All right, fair enough.
Are you excited to have a day to yourself?
Triptychon. So that stated, how was the sound up on the stage? Did you guys have a good mix?
It's yes, we had a very good mix. They're really good here, but it's really bassy.
That should be okay with you.
Yes, exactly. It was good. No, it was great. How'd it sound outside?
It sounded great, actually. Phil stuck out really well. Ben stuck out really well. Honestly, it was pretty well mixed. To be honest, it was a good set. Yeah.
Yeah, and been a good experience.
Ben, we were talking to Phil before the set, and he was saying that you stuck in the one big long doomy doom before that, which is to say everything that you were not doing in the Black Dahlia set plus one. You going home after this, right?
Well, home after Sunday, yes.
Yeah, so you're sticking around for Triptychon. Anything else? Well, if you already asked that question, you are a Celtic Frost fan, I assume.
Yes, absolutely, of course.
What songs you might hear tomorrow?
What, they're playing the whole album? They're playing all of Monotheist, aren't they?
It's a Celtic Frost set. They haven't said what they're playing.
Anything off Monotheist will be fine.
All right. Okay. All right. Phil kind of chimed in on that too. You a Morbid Tales fan or?
Yes, I am, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I'm just. The catalog is pretty amazing, so I don't think I could. It'd be hard to disappoint me.
Cool. Perfect. We'll wrap it up there. I don't want to take time. We're just going to sit here and smoke and drink together. No, that was great.
I feel like on the podcast, I'm usually sober.
Yeah, you totally just ruined this, bro. Fuck. Shit. All right, checking in. We're talking to Phil, and then we talked to Dan. We got Ben here, Glacial Tomb, and Khemmis. What's up, buddy? Killer set fucking tonight, brother. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm good. That was a lot of fun, dude. That was a really, really wild time. Very stoked, very tired.
You fucking killed it, bro.
Hey, thank you, man. That was, the crowd was super stoked on it. Sound was good on stage. It's fucking Decibel, man. It's a good time. I'm ready to drink some fucking beer, though.
I don't blame you. There's some good beer to be had. The sound was good off stage, just so you know. Everybody was well heard. Everybody was well represented. Fucking killer fucking show, dude. And I know you're here. Looking forward to Triptychon tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
Give me 3 songs you're hoping to hear.
Any of them, all of them, and each of them.
Fuck! That's a good answer.
Also, you got to be highlighted, man.
Absolutely, sorry.
Yeah, hold on. We got Ben is signing a record real quick.
We're good.
And then we'll come back in.
Awesome, man. Great show, by the way.
Hey, cheers.
How you doing?
Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. See you around, man.
All right, we're back. Go ahead and ask your question, John.
And this is John. So you also got to, I noticed that you got a little bit extra time singing on this set, and it was fucking awesome. So, how are you going to get more vocals in on Khemmis?
I'm gonna do more vocals than Kevin. I mean, it's very. Thank you. It's always gonna be song dependent. We're not gonna ever do anything just to do something. But the new album was heavier, darker, and it needed a little more me. A little mwah.
That's what we're talking about. Keep it going.
Yeah, a great answer. Actually, we're not going to hold you too far because you got to get beer. We got to get beer. But Ben, it is lovely to see you face to face, brother, and I hope you're having a good time. What time did you guys get here today?
Oh shit! I don't actually know. I'm fucking fried from the road. I think we got here at like 2:15 p.m. something like that. We loaded in, we sound checked, and then we're here until I fly out at 6:30 in the morning on Monday. So I got about another 36 hours of doing the damn thing, and then back to reality for a few days.
And you'll have a couple beers with us tomorrow.
Oh, more than a couple. Absolutely.
Good. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben from Khemmis. We've already talked to Dan from. Oh, listen to him go. All right. We'll check back with you later.
This is John BT, and we're checking in after Khemmis and Pig Destroyer, and
Like Tell You Murder, which was fucking not cool.
yeah, they're actually still playing.
Destroyer, according to some people.
So Pig Destroyer got a 50% review, as in
Paul and Jay liked it.
Love it.
Paul and Jay.
Loved it. Paul and Jay loved it. Sergey and John did not.
Because they're stupid.
Okay.
Yeah,
Argue with Sergey, but
I'm disappointed.
I never lie.
I never like.
So,
I sometimes
other than Pig Destroyer, Khemmis had really good sound. The set was good. Jay kind of ruined the band for me.
Sorry.
But other than that, beer's been great. Everything's flowing. We're having a good time. And we discovered that the downstairs bathrooms actually lead to a fantastic lounge that is this really nice area with these comfy satin sofas. And there's a bar down here. So this is a positive. Unfortunately, the press pass thing still hasn't been worked out. So this is a problem with this Metal and Beer Fest. I have a feeling that Albert will not be coming back to the Wiltern in future years. We'll have to ask Albert, but that's what I think. Any updates, Jay?
Okay. Do you know the song called "Albert is a Handbanger"?
No.
Albert is a handbanger. Albert is a hand.
Islam or death.
It's no.
I just went.
It's voodoo cult. So
We're not going for it.
So there's a song from voodoo cult called "Albert is a Headbanger." And when I see a person named Albert,
Sure, like you do from time to time.
I just
You think Albert is a...
Albert is a hamburger.
Wait, where are we now?
I don't know, but
Okay, I think we're signing out. That's how it goes at the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest. Enjoy, everyone. Here's Sergey to sign out.
So, was Albert a hamburger? Okay, back. Was Albert a hamburger?
Sure. Yeah, he was. Albert was a hamburger.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, no, a lot of people will agree on that fact.
This is the last recording.
I don't even know what the question was.
Is Albert...
Signing
I
out.
was just trying to agree.
So, This is John, BT, and Sergiy, and we just came out of Pig Destroyer, and we thought we'd discuss a little bit about why we don't understand why people like this band.
Oh wait, Jay's back. Okay, why Pig Destroyer is not a very interesting band? No, this is the question for you. Answer this.
I thought they were brutal, mathematical, exacting, artistical. I loved it.
This is John again, and I thought they were like mishmash of sound, and there was nothing interesting going on.
John's done.
And the songs cut out after 2 minutes to 30 seconds. Also, there's a DJ on stage, which to me seems like not the right genre. And let's go to Sergiy for this.
He's not even a real DJ. He just pressed one button between the sounds and just walks around during the song. And he comes back after the song ends. I mean, I've been to this place. I was sitting next to the mixing table. You don't put this motherfucker next to, like, he was right in the main stage. In the center of the stage, you have this guy who does nothing. I mean, other people doing nothing as well.
I want that job. Anyway, that's Pig Destroyer. Enjoy.
All right, we're down here in the lounge area down at the bottom. And first of all, I'm running into one of Will's friends. And we were just going to kind of see how people are enjoying the show so far. So first of all, say your name, dude, because Will's going to freak out.
Warren Hendrickson.
Will, Warren Henderson here. We want to see what you guys are enjoying so far. What are your favorite bands of the fest so far? And beers.
Khemmis is fucking amazing, and Black Dahlia just fucking destroyed the place. So, those two so far.
All right.
And Pig Destroyer.
And Pig Destroyer. And Pig Destroyer.
He made you do that, but it's cool. No, all right.
Yeah, I think Khemmis and Necrot were as brilliant as I expected them to be.
Yeah.
And Black Dahlia Murder obviously tore his shit up. It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Destroyer was also fucking brutal.
Apparently we forced you into that as well, sir.
I mean, as we can tell, Pig Destroyer, of course, was awesome.
We went Pig Destroyer first.
Yeah. And then Khemmis, like, they killed it. I've been wanting to see them for a while. Me and Warren actually went and saw them 3 times and missed them every single time.
Yeah, literally 3 times. The last 2 Decibel shows, Metal Beer shows in Philly, we missed them both times.
No shit. All right. Well, how's the thing? You have to tell me how you know Will.
What's that?
How is it that you know Will?
Oh, he's the brewer at Atlas. I'm a brewer at Black Flag Brewing in Columbia, so we're both brew buddies.
Holy fucking shit, dude. He's gonna shit when he hears this, first and foremost. Well, that's cool. First of all, I need to tell him that you're wearing a Slayer shirt, a Behemoth patch. Did you go to the Behemoth tour?
Yes, I did. That was
fucking killer, wasn't it, dude?
It was.
Stage show, I feel like they brought the stage show up to a new level.
Absolutely. That was the 3rd time I've seen him, and that was the best show I've ever seen him play.
What do you think of the new record?
Love it.
I do too, just so you know. Will doesn't like it because of the children.
Yeah.
I don't know what his fucking deal is. But I feel like they really fucking brought it up a notch with the fucking stage show this time. Where did you see him?
I saw him at the Fillmore in Silver Spring.
Silver Spring, cool. And they had the red crosses, the smoke, the everything.
Oh, the whole thing. It was awesome. At the gates open for him. Wolves in the Throne Room was fucking great show.
Awesome, dude. Cool. What are some of your favorite records of the year so far?
The year so far, besides Behemoth, I'd say the new Visigoth album fucking slays. I really loved the new Beyond Creation album that came out. I've been listening to that a lot. And let's see, besides that, I'd say the new Panopticon.
Yep.
I think it's the Nameless Wilderness. Fucking love that album.
Cool. A lot of people enjoying that one. Cool. And where are you from? How do you get out here to the West Coast?
So I'm from New York originally, but I brew at Black Flag Brewing in Columbia, Maryland. So I went and visited my buddy out in Austin the last couple days. We spent like 3 days just touring breweries in Austin, and then we came out for the LA Metal Beer Fest. So
fucking A. And here you are. All right, awesome, dude. Fuck, that's fucking cool, dude. I had no idea that was the group of guys we're coming to talk to. So you're looking forward to the Testament sets?
Absolutely, yeah. Can't wait.
New Order. Which one of the records are you more? Which one of the records are you a bigger fan of?
Gathering.
Gathering,
yeah.
All right, cool. Good answer. All right, we'll take it. All right, brother. Nicely done.
Yeah, cheers, man.
All right, we're here, and we got AJ coming from fucking Pig Destroyer, who just fucking knocked it out, JRX. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll be whoever you want.
For what it's worth, I drink a lot of beer, for what it's worth. But
why wouldn't you?
I apologize. But I want to tell you guys played a fucking killer set. I just want to know how you feel about it.
It was good, man. It was awesome. You know, I just like playing for people who wouldn't normally see us, and it's such a wide lineup of bands, you know. Thanks, man. You know, we're just always trying to make new fans, man, and play for different crowds. And so, you know, playing with Testament is an honor. Fucking Dave Mustaine's here. I mean, what else you want, man, you know?
I want to talk about Head Cage a little bit, just because I think it's a artistic statement. I really do. They're very... Tom Warrior is here this weekend, and Tom Warrior is one of those guys that I think is making artistic statements. I think Pig Destroyer is one of the other bands that's making artistic statements in the metal world right now. And so I just want to know... what was it that you were feeling when you did Head Cage this year? Because I know there's been kind of a feel to every record.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain line of emotions and subject matter that runs through all the records that we've done, and sometimes I try to escape it, but you can't escape yourself. You know what I mean? So it all shares the commonality of coming from the same brain. You know, so it's a lot of depression, confusion. There's some politics in there, a little bit of fiction. I tried to mix it up, you know, but it comes out mostly depressive all the time, you know.
Can we talk about politics for a minute? Go ahead.
So there is a concerted effort on this last record to make stuff that's like a little more hooky and a little more nuanced. You blew it. No. I have to tell you that's relevant. I'm a big fan, just so you know, first and foremost. So there is some more hookiness on this record. So you were going somewhere good with that. We didn't want to just do another grindcore record. I mean, in the entire history of the band, there's always been elements of like noise rock or doom or sludge. We're going to kind of focus on that. And at the end of the day, it still sounds like us to us. And that's important. All right, that's all I got. Sorry.
That's actually pretty good. That's actually a lot of information for me. No, I don't, and I don't blame you. Let's talk about, if you don't mind for a second, Army of Hops and also the Pig Destroyer beer. Did you guys actually work with them a little bit on that?
Yes, and I hate hoppy beers, but I love this one. And this is not just smoke up the ass of Three Floyds. It's got this finish that's not super hoppy. I do love it. Although they give you like 22-ounce bottles and it's like 12%, so it's kind of hard to sit around and drink.
You know, we're lucky because there's a lot of people out there who make beer or think they can make beer, and we're just lucky to have hooked up with Three Floyds, and they just do an amazing job and make a good product. You know, because when you're going to put your band logo on something, you want it to be good, you know, and I'm just really happy with how they've all turned out.
Well, one of the things that I'd like to tell you is that I went to the East Coast Decibel Fest last year. I'm here at this one. And right now, the band to beat is Pig Destroyer, as far as I'm concerned. The set you played, you came out and fucking killed it.
This shirt, my tattoo.
Ah, Cthulhu! We got it going on.
It's all by the human tongue. And the closest is Cthulhu. Let me ask you this: do you know the Cthulhu H.P. Lovecraft Wayne June audiobook series? Have you ever heard this?
I'm a huge Lovecraft nerd. Huge. Like, it's pathetic.
Would you think you've read most of it?
I've read all of it, even his letters.
You might have to start a podcast just for this guy, because he's the Lovecraft fucking maniac.
For what it's worth, I'm a big Lovecraft guy. There's a audio. I read a lot of Lovecraft, but I've also listened to a certain audiobook every October just to do it.
So, my first tour with one of my bands, I jumped the fence. I bought a squid. Jumped the fence to his grave, and there's a picture of me somewhere, and I don't have it. Me vomiting the squid on his grave. And I saw someone speak at the Poe House a couple years ago that dressed like him and read Rats on the Walls. The year before was dope because it was Gomez Adams, John Aston, dressed as Poe. It's a really lame. You guys are falling asleep.
No, not even close. What's your favorite Lovecraft story? Yeah, I mean, that's hard. That's a really...
The Outsider, man.
The Outsider, all right.
I mean, I love a lot of it. Arthur German is one of the ones I think is underrated. The Festival. But The Outsider is just so surreal, and it's got both the horror and his weird, epic, cosmic shit. And Niall ripped the name Nephron Ka off of that.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, you're not blowing my mind. I'm a big Lovecraft guy. My favorite Lovecraft thing is, and then he looked outside and the universe blew a fucking bomb through his mind. I mean, that's Lovecraft. That's his whole fucking thing. And I've read most of it. I have to tell you, I didn't know you were a fan.
Letters are boring, but it's so crazy because he just writes. Like his letters to his friends, like the dude that wrote Conan, like they called it the Black Circle later, like all these pre-people, like his letters are like 20-page letters, and you're like, there's nothing in here, but you can just see how he writes, and it's kind of amazing.
This is actually a better interview than I ever hoped it could be. I do want to ask you if Prowler in the Yard will be coming out on vinyl again.
We have it right now.
Prowler in the Yard is on vinyl right now.
Yeah.
At your stand. If I walk to your stand, I'll buy it.
Like 15 feet away. Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
It's on the table, but they have it.
They have it. Okay. Yeah, it is actually. I can actually tell you, it's not on the table.
Because I think we might be cleaning up the merch.
Understood.
There.
I just want to tell you guys again, I think when I go to a festival show, there are bands to beat. You guys are the bands to beat this weekend. I think you fucking played a killer set.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'm a big fan, and I love you guys.
Awesome, man.
There's no way we can beat Triptychon.
There's no way you can beat Triptychon. I actually agree with you on that because they're doing it
tomorrow.
That's right.
That might as well be 1,000 years from now. You know what I'm saying?
We just did a high five, but it's audio, so it's totally lame.
It'll be a Celtic Frost set. God bless you, fellas. I love you. All right, checking back in here. It's December 2nd. We're sitting in our hotel room, the Line Hotel. It's me, Sergey, and John. And we're just going to maybe kind of talk a little bit about how last night went and what we're looking forward to today. I'll start by just saying the highlight of my day was Tom Warrior was in the lobby of the hotel when I went downstairs. He was waiting for his ride to the sound check. I already honestly conducted what constitutes an interview with him, but I didn't do it with the tape recorder in my hand. But I asked him some of the questions that I had saved up. Actually, I'm going to answer. I'll say what they were really quick. I asked him if the Bunker Grave Hill facility where they formed Celtic Frost and Hellhammer still existed. He said it's not there anymore. He said it was destroyed, and there's something else there. But he says there's still a lot of memories there. I asked him if there's going to be a new Triptychon record. He said next year. I asked him if they're going to record the Requiem that's being performed in Europe. He said yes, it's being recorded for release. And I asked him, let's see, I had this another kind of obscure. I asked him, there's a famous story where he went to Venom's first press conference in Sweden when he was a young man, and it was probably when either Welcome to Hell or Welcome to Hell and Black Metal were out. And he raised his hand in the press conference and said, "Did you know there's a band that's heavier than you?" And obviously they probably didn't
care who this kid was, but he walked up and threw a cassette of Hellhammer on the table. So I asked him, did you ever talk to them about that after the fact? That because you obviously went on to become Celtic Frost and so on and so forth. And he said the only time he really ever had the chance was when, and this is to quote him exactly, he said, I recorded a really shit album called Cold Lake. And at that time, Cronus was in a band called Cronus. And he said, and we toured, and they opened for Celtic Frost. Cronus did. And he said, we were all glammed out, and he was all glammed out. And none of us thought it was a good idea to have a conversation like that because they all sort of recognized we're not in a good place right now. That's a true story. He told me that. And also, he was just a very nice man. I had told him I was a little nervous meeting him. I didn't mind telling him that. And he said, nah, man, hey, man. He said, if it wasn't for people like you, I wouldn't be where I am. So that was the highlight of my day. I've already talked more than I should here, so maybe we'll talk a little bit about last night and see what everybody liked. So, John, what were some of your highlights from last night? Not necessarily music, not necessarily beer, somewhere in between, whatever it is you had the most fun with.
So this is John. I think we probably didn't see as much music as we maybe should have. But I would say the music highlights, I did enjoy the sections of the Khemmis set that we saw. There were some really heavy bits where Ben did the vocals, and that was really nice. And then I went in to see, I saw 3 songs from Necrot, and that was really good. I hadn't seen them before, and I wanted to. I liked that, loved that album. So that was a good bit. Saw a bit of Pig Destroyer, but it's definitely not in my wheelhouse. And then we saw Testament, but at that point, the being awake for 22 hours caught up with me, and I'd say about 3/4 of the way through the Gathering set, I was done and started dozing off. It was really good. It was nice to hear some of those songs from the Gathering, but I was too tired.
So I do want to add to the Testament thing that we were sitting down, which is how you and all of us were sort of able to kind of doze off. I honestly was so drunk at that point, there was 2 of every member on stage. That's the absolute truth. And I kept having to close one eye so I could see straight. I had way too much to drink. And so long story short, we watched a fair amount of that set, and then I turned and looked to my left, and both John and Sergiy, the beer and the day was getting the better of them. And Sergiy, like me, has a cold. And they literally, their heads were back and their eyes were closed. They were taking it in, but they were struggling. So at that point, I grabbed Paul, who was next to me, and said, let's get out of here. Sergiy put up a fuss. He was like, no, we can't walk out of this. But his resources were low, so we were able to pull him out of there. So there you go. Back to you, John, and then let's hear what Sergiy thinks, too.
So yeah, on the beer side, I was also pretty in a happy place at that point. But while there's been some issues with this festival as a whole, so definitely the venue is not happy with the festival being what it actually is. They seem to have not really contemplated that they are not going to get any beer sales, and they're maybe pissed off about that. We've heard that Albert at Decibel has had some issues with them for sure. We've got the vibe that the bands aren't allowed to get beer. There's a lot of negatives to it for sure. And given how Philly was supposed to be so positive about this, it's disappointing. But that said, for us with the beer passes, we can just go around, get whatever beer we want. Every brewer is awesome. You get to talk to them for a while. They're talking about bands. They're talking about their beers. I really like the ones from True. That was good. I was disappointed that Brash's beers got sort of waylaid and stuck in Sacramento, but we got to hang out with the guys from Brash, and it's been good to see them again since I used to be in Houston, but recently moved away. But yeah, it's just been fantastic. I got to go through my Untapped to see which ones I liked. The Three Floyds was definitely what we hit up the most. Though I think Jay was more partial to the Dark Lord, and I was more partial to the new Pig Destroyer Army of Hops, which is phenomenal. And I've already sent my brother off to find some since he's in Chicago. So I'll let Sergey say a couple things, and then maybe we'll start talking about today. So
I don't know much to it.
What did you drink that you liked?
It's called something juicy goodness. Juicy goodness was named appropriately. It's really good.
What band?
Bands? I mean, Testament. What else? Yeah.
Let's see. Well, again, I might have mentioned at the beginning that Sergiy and I are both nursing colds. I think he's got the worst of it right now. I'm feeling a little better today, but Sergiy also brought his nice camera. He's been taking pictures, I assume. We saw Dave. You took about 5 pictures. We saw Dave Mustaine from afar. Just to elaborate a little bit on the venue stuff. So what happened with the venue was, nobody got press passes, not one single press person. And Albert was furious about that. John already mentioned the issue with the vendors. We were just talking to some brewers downstairs from Wake Brewery, and they said, yes, they were picking up on this vibe. They hadn't heard that and it's not that the bands, as John said, not to correct you, it's not that they're not allowed to have beer. The point is they're not giving them any beer, which is strange. So they're not really taking care of the bands. And also Phil from Khemmis told me that other than their set, they're not even allowed backstage. So there's a very strange, I think it's because there's so many famous people in LA that they're used to like clamp down on who comes backstage. Who knows? So that's stated tonight. I think I can speak for all of us, but I'll only speak for myself first and say Triptychon is definitely the number one goal of the whole weekend. Playing their Celtic Frost set tonight. I'm personally looking forward to Yob. Those are probably the 2 highlights I'm looking forward to tonight. Also, maybe you guys, I know we didn't get that much in, but what are your thoughts on how the sound quality was as well? And what are you looking forward to tonight? And I thought the sound was acceptable last night. It's a little bit louder than Philly.
So I agree on the sound. It was still a little loud, but it sounded good. As a whole, I checked both downstairs and upstairs, and it was decent. Not perfect, but it was good. It was a little bit on the loud side. So when it comes to today, I have the same thing. I want Triptychon and Yob is really good. But there's a couple other bands on the list for today that make today, I think, a better set overall. I think we've got Skeletal Remains, who I'm excited about. I like that Power Trip album, so that's going to be something to at least duck in on for a little bit and check out. And and then Yob's going to be, I'm sure, fantastic, and then Triptychon's going to be just awesome. We want to be downstairs for that one for sure.
We probably need to drink less beer because we have planes in the morning. So unless you want to just fly drunk, that's fun. I did it before. You can sleep all the way there.
More juicy goodness.
Well, the problem with the drunk flight, though, is Sergiy and I are on separate flights, but we're both flying short. It's an hour flight, so a drunk flight means a drunk arrival. No, I can guarantee you I won't drink as much tonight. I've got to get up. My plane leaves at 7:25. We're at least 40 minutes from the airport, and I got to be up at 5 or some crazy thing. So it's going to be but I pulled a similar turnaround in Philly, and it was acceptable. So, and I've got a long BART ride waiting for me on the other end. So with that, we are
food. So one other slight highlight is the location. While maybe the venue sucked, we're right in Koreatown. And we went out for some Korean food last night or yesterday before the show that one was crazy authentic and like right out of an Anthony Bourdain episode. And it was just fantastic. I think we universally ate some food that we've never had before and just all loved it. So that was a great experience.
Without bragging, I have actually eaten all of that before, but it was the best version I've ever had. And it was one of those great Korean things where they just fill your table. You forget, Sergiy ordered not a huge fish dish, but he had this great looking cooked fish dish, like a fried fish. And it comes with what I ordered as my main dish. It was a side for Sergey that he was given. So our whole table was full of food, but it was delicious food, and they bring you all the kimchis and the pickled peppers and so on and so forth. And it was actually, I think we all enjoyed it. It wouldn't break my heart if we weren't there tonight. Okay, so that's stated. The other thing is that we're going to try to do a Los Angeles thing today, so we've all agreed to jump in an Uber. We're going to go down to Griffith Park, see the observatory, famous from a lot of movies. Try to snap some photos, put them up on the page. It is 1:30, so we'll be back 4 o'clock for Doors and Pours. Also, and yes, Sergey's favorite band is called Doors and Pours at 4. I think we all agree the venue itself is not bad. It's the management of the venue. The venue is quite lovely. It's a nice old theater, old school Los Angeles, but it is what it is. We've still managed to can some good interviews, which you've heard by now some, and we'll probably pick up some tonight. So we'll still have a bit of an episode here. All right, we're off to Griffith Park.
Day 75 of Decibel Metal and Beer Festival. Most of the people were there dead right now.
Lost a lot of good men.
Most of them were not really good when it comes to taste. But we'll still continue to report from this pretty much godforsaken and absolutely desperate festival. At least we have some beers and a lot of meat from all the dead people. See you on the day 76.
This is John.
This is Jay.
And we're doing a check-in from day 2 of the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest. So far, we've seen a little bit of Haunt, and I saw some of Skeletal Remains. Both were pretty good. I went to see Haunt mainly because I found out they're from Fresno, which is my hometown. I heard the album, and it was pretty good, but they were all right live.
It's the guy from Beastmaker.
Okay. The sound is pretty not great unless the bands bring their own sound guy, which so far I don't think anybody's done.
Incorrect. The sound man apparently for Khemmis, who is the FOH front of house, as Dan was so pleased to say, he learned what FOH means, is the guitar player from Church without a U in it. And we also heard, we talked to him for a little while, and the guitar player from Church, we asked him, why is it called Church without a U in it? And his answer was because they were getting ready to go to press on the album, and they got a cease and desist order from a band called The Church in Europe somewhere, I don't remember where. So, Australia, thank you. John and Sergey chiming in there, and it's so they just said, I don't know, take the U out. That was literally how Church became Church.
They also sent a cease and desist letter to Church of Scientology. So the Church of Scientology is now spelled Church of...
And this is John, they mentioned that I think in one of their albums, they actually included a copy of the cease and desist letter as an insert in the record version. So yeah, that was an added surprise of running into him. Jay will take over now to talk about his other random encounter.
Well, only that, I mean, I just wanted to kind of back you up on that, and that was cool. That was a cool behind-the-scenes story. Tom Warrior did a signing tonight, so I got in line, got a book. I've already owned that book, so I'm going to send my book to John. But I got a Tom Warrior Only Death is Real book signed. We're out here. We've had some good beer tonight. Oh, and I ran into Mike from Yob. Recognized him immediately, and I was like, hey Mike, can I get an interview? And he said, honestly, not tonight, man. And he was literally carrying an inhaler with him because we're guessing he's probably got a cold and shit. He was very gracious, very nice, took a picture with me, and he said reach out to him on Skype. He said if you do that, we will absolutely do an interview with you, so we will get him at a later date. But so far we're having a good time. Sergey's got something he wants to bring in.
And everyone was so embarrassed to ask people from Yob the question what Yob means in Slavic languages.
Fuck.
Okay, I guess that's because your wife is a Slavist.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. My wife speaks Slavic languages, but we wanted to ask Mike, did you choose Yab because it means fuck in Slavic languages? And I have to tell you, I was too weird not to ask that question.
Too yapped up.
He was
I was too yabbed up.
he was also hanging out with the guys from Khemmis, so we didn't want to interrupt that.
Dan told us some very nice stories about Mike Scheidt and how he is and the kind of guy he is. He's a lot smaller than I expected him to be, which is not much to say, but there it is. And Power Trip is on stage right now. I assume Paulie is out there watching Power Trip. But the best part of the night is yet to come. We're getting up to the good bands now. Yob will be coming soon. Celtic Frost. Triptychon with the Celtic Frost set. I did ask Tom in person, are you playing Dethroned Emperor? He said, of course. I said, are you playing Procreation of the Wicked? He said, of course. I said, are you playing something from Monotheist? He said, of course. So we know a little bit about the set list. We'll see what happens.
What about cherry blossoms?
Cherry orchards.
Orchards.
I didn't ask him about cherry orchards, but I did not want to get punched in the face.
If I was Tom Javoria, I would play cherry orchards just in spite of these people who...
Just to fuck all these people over. I like that.
I mean, I would probably say, oh, it's nice.
Honestly, there's nothing more metal than that. We're gonna...
That's the funniest thing about Cold Lake is that it sounds like really poppy Celtic Frost album.
I think Tom agrees with you.
I mean, you cannot take it off. It's like those people, it's just still depression and this like weird sound.
It's like a car accident you can't look away from. I'll say this, we're having a great time, of course. I think it feels, I just saw Albert sticking his head out. We're having a great time. It seemed a little bit less crowded tonight. Actually, it's getting more crowded now. We've had a lot of good beers. I will say this, there are a couple of new brewers that showed up tonight. Some of the brewers shifted what they're serving tonight, so we're way behind on the 37 that we were supposed to drink, and then we drank like 22 last night.
You guys drunk. Call the ambulance.
I think that tells the tale better than I ever could. We stopped at Beer Belly, which is a craft brew place before the show. Ended up finding Khemmis. We can't avoid Khemmis at this point. That's what it's coming down to. We all had a couple beers together, spent some time with the boys. We will check in again in a little while.
I mean, it's probably the second best place to find them after AA.
After AA.
Well stated. We'll check in a little while. All right, we're checking back in. Actually, we just signed out, but we found Chris Lemos, properly pronounced. It's a Portuguese name. And Chris happens to be the guitarist in the exemplary band Church, without a U in it, which is what we call it on the podcast. Favorite album of the podcast this year. And so we're going to say hi to Chris. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I think you are doing front of house sound for Khemmis.
Yeah, absolutely. We had played yesterday, or they played yesterday.
They played last year. That's what brought you along. But nevertheless, you are a guitar player in a very fine metal band yourself. As mentioned, a record that we're really liking. We just told the Church story in a separate little segment we did. But nevertheless, can you talk about the cease and desist you received that turned your band into Church?
It was before we even had a record out. I think we had posted Unanswered Hymns online, but it wasn't like officially out yet. It was at the pressing plant, and our label rep calls us. I wake up fucking at like 8 a.m. to like texts and emails and phone and missed calls, like frantic fucking crazy shit, and just like, dude, call me right now. And I called him, and he told me, yeah, we like got a cease and desist from an undisclosed band. No, it's the Church. From Australia. They fucking sent us a cease and desist, and because the record was at the plant, we had to make a decision pretty much like right then. So the first pressing doesn't have our logo on it because we just wiped it clean, basically, and then changed the spelling of it, basically.
Let's say your first doesn't have the original logo. Is it similar to the original logo what you ended up with?
No, the LP, the first pressing of the LP Unanswered Hymns doesn't have our logo at all. Yeah. Like at all. And then the second pressing, we have the logo on the corner.
Is it similar to what it would have been if it was Church with you? You just got a kiss. I don't know how to explain that, but shit happened. So the original Church with the U, was it a similar font?
Oh, it was the same logo. We just edited the logo basically. We have a friend that is a Photoshop wizard and did it in like 5 seconds and edited it to make it what it is now.
Who designed the logo in the first place?
The original drawing is by Blyle Cabal, our friend Stephanie and Miranda. Not Stefan and Miranda. Jesus Christ. I already had too much beer.
Actually, can we talk about that? What are some of the beers that you've had since you've been here that you've enjoyed?
I mean, True has some good shit. I haven't really had a lot of samples, honestly. I didn't get a cup. They didn't give us cups.
I'm gonna get you a cup.
Fuck yeah, let's get some cups.
I'll get you a cup.
Sick. That's awesome.
So you had some True stuff. Did you get to do Three Floyds or anything like that?
No, I haven't. I've been hearing nothing but great things all weekend though. Yeah.
I have a question. So you do the sound for Khemmis. How did you get into like sound mixing and setting up for bands and stuff?
Just in general or for them?
Just in general. I mean,
I booked shows in Sacramento, and really how I like fully got into sound was there was a new venue that opened that didn't have like. Long story short, the venue side of the bar fell through like right after they opened, so they like had an open space that they didn't know what to do with. Somebody broke the lease that they signed basically, and so I walked in looking to book a Primitive Man show, and the owner was just like, "Do you do sound?" And I was like, "I mean, I can. I like understand music and sound." And so I went up there, and they had like a really janky small system, and I just figured it out and built the system with it, and like built knowledge with that, and like I've been touring in bands for so many years, and Church has been touring, like playing like bigger festivals and shit lately. So like we meet people, and like you gain knowledge just through that. And it was really like I didn't go to school for it or anything. I just kind of like applied myself and learned it and made it work. And then I started touring doing sound this year.
Nice, because in general, like the mix you did with Khemmis stood out from a lot of the bands here, because in general a lot of these are very drum heavy mixes, and Khemmis came through sounding fantastic, and it was the first band I think of the night that sounded really good yesterday.
I'll just add to that and say the vocals were strong in that mix for the first time also. Did you catch any of the other sets last night?
I did. I caught most of them. Fuck, what was last night? I'm like so frazzled. Yeah, I caught most of them. Necrot was sick. That band fucking rules.
They live near you and me.
Yeah, totally. Oakland. Yeah, there's homies. Yeah, they're awesome. They're hanging out tonight too. Yeah. Chad fucking lied to me. Told me I could go get a cup from the front desk, and I couldn't. Bullshit.
No, he gave it.
I'm just fucking around.
Oh, okay.
But no, I love those guys. They're homies. They're crushed every fucking time. They were so good last night. Testament.
By the way, I think he's Portuguese.
Chad?
No.
No. Luca, he's Italian. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But anyway, good say.
Testament was surprised me. They're, like you were saying, the sound was fucking weird yesterday. The mix at the beginning was kind of rough, but it turned out awesome. It sounded great.
Yeah, Testament sounded really good. His voice came through on everything. It was fantastic.
It was just like right at the beginning. I walked in right when they started, and the mix was like rough, and I was like, I'm gonna go outside, hang out, talk to people. Came back in like 20 minutes later, and it was fucking perfect. I was just like, oh my god, it sounds great in here. They were amazing. Pig Destroyer, Black Dahlia. We've been on the road with Khemmis with them for a couple of days. They're great.
The Pig Destroyer, I agree, was great. But I got to ask you, what's coming up next? When I know you just had a record this year, and that's a lot for an underground band. I mean, you don't get to do year after year after year every year. But are you working on some new stuff?
Slowly but surely. I mean, it's with the way that we write fairly slow. Just it's like meticulous. We like to pick apart every little thing. But slowly but surely, we're starting to write a little bit for the new record. We were just doing a bunch of touring this year, and then I was doing touring separately. But we're gonna hunker down and write starting like next summer. We're just gonna fucking go for it, and we'll have a record out 2020 probably.
Well, to that end, you said you had the good fortune, I think, to do some fests this year. You said, what are some of the fests that you got to do?
Yeah, we played Desert Fest London. That was amazing. Austin Terror Fest. What else did we do? We did another festival in Europe. Fuck, I'm blanking on it right now. I feel like I've been on the road for like 10 months. But
talk about that too, because you said you're doing sound on the road this year. I'm assuming that means more than just Khemmis. Who else have you been doing?
I'm working with Elder also.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And we just did
Sacramento band?
No. They're based out of Boston originally, but they're all spread out over the East Coast and some in Germany. kind of all over the world. Yeah. The singer lives in Germany. He lives in Berlin.
They're great. I'm an Elder fan. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, we just did 2 months in Europe. That was brutal.
And how did you get hooked up with them?
They went on tour on the West Coast in August with very good friends of mine, Serial Hawk from Seattle, and Elder was looking for an engineer, and they asked Serial Hawk, and Serial Hawk hit me up. I've known those guys forever, so.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So it sounds like we got a new church coming in 2020. What are you looking forward to tonight?
Tonight, Yob, absolutely. Celtic Frost. Fuck yeah, Godflesh. It's going to be sick. Church is doing some touring next year, too. We got a Northwest tour coming up in February. It's us and Un co-headlining. Yeah. And then we're doing Psycho Smokeout 420 down here at Catch One in LA. It's going to be sick. And then we're probably going to do another tour, too, after that, too, before we start writing.
You're busy.
So come out to Nashville, because I want to see you guys.
We might be coming out there that way, at least. I don't know, all the way to Nashville. That way, next summer, we might be out there, which is the worst time to go out there. Fuck humidity. Oh, my God. But
honestly, we're going to wrap that up to be respectful of your time, but it was nice of you to spend some time with us. And I say again, a lot of fans on our podcast of your album this year. It was cool to run into you, brother.
Yeah, good meeting you guys. Thanks for your time. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is John.
This is Jay.
This is Dan.
Paul.
And we're checking in after an awesome set by Yob.
I think so.
I
think so.
Yeah, I actually think this was a life-changing experience for me. Totally need to go back and listen to the earlier Yob albums, given that I only listened to the most recent and realized, wow, they are a very different band than I expected. So anyway, what do the rest of you guys think? And by the way, when Dan mentioned, it was Dan from Khemmis. So what do you think about the Yob set?
I thought it was amazing. I've seen Yob probably 10 times, and every time I see them, it's always really great. But the last 2 times, I would say that it's some of the most emotional music that I've been able to experience live, and I thought they really fed off the crowd tonight, and maybe forced the crowd to feel that emotion. It was, I don't know, man. I mean, you can't say enough good words about Yob performing live.
Now, from our conversation earlier, you were talking about how Yob was sort of like an inspiration and the reason you're doing what you guys are doing. So I don't know if you want to give a mention about that and maybe about how you guys had that show in Oregon.
Well, I thought their set tonight was like a really great example of what I was saying earlier, which is that they really just translate the emotion of the music so well. You can feel it in the way that they perform and their everything that they do, the tension in Mike's vocals, and I just think I hate using this word 5 fucking times, but emotional is the best way to describe it, and it just really resonates with me. More so on this album cycle, and maybe that's because of everything that went down with Mike. I don't know. I mean, Mike's always been a tremendous person and someone that you want to be around, and musically, I agree. I think that that
Whatever Dan is saying is wrong. Fucking ignore completely.
Phil agrees entirely with everything I'm saying.
Phil just jumped in here, so.
Phil and I were watching this set together, and I mean, it's just so powerful, and it just takes you over. I think every time, and I just think it just comes from a place it's performance, but it's really always about the feelings behind what they're playing.
So Phil, as a follow up to what we were just saying, what did you feel like when you guys had Mike opening for you?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, I take back saying that I disagree with Dan completely because he's right. But I don't know. That was just like the most humbling experience. That speaks so much to like the character of Mike and of that band in general that they just wanted to support a show at a local coffee shop in their town. And
This was on your first album, right?
yeah, really the very first tour we ever did. I think the third date on the first tour that we ever did. You know, we have Mike from Yob opening for us because he wanted to. You know, like that doesn't. I don't think that kind of thing happens with most bands that are successful. He's such a humble motherfucker. Yes, I love him. Yeah.
I just wanted to add that also his son's band, I believe it was his son, right? His kid's band played the first set of the night, and they were like a traditional heavy metal band, and they fucking rule.
They were so sick. Yeah, it was like straight up like Iron Maiden worship, and they were amazing. Yeah, but they were so young that they weren't even allowed to be in the venue after they played. They stood outside, and I watched them through the window of the venue. They stayed outside to listen to the bands. And so, like, I made an effort to, like, play part of our set, like, watching through the window at them so that it felt like they were still, like, part of it, you know? It was really cool.
I would just add, I know what Mike's been through, too. I mean, very explicitly what Mike's been through. I read the article in Decibel, and Mike was 2 hours from death, really. And that was the catalyst for this record. So if you know that, putting this record on, and I'll tell you this. We talked to Mike for a second before the show. I asked him if they're going to do the Autumn Leaves thing, which they did not do, which is my vote for most beautiful fucking song of the year. That would be track 3 or 4 on the record. And he said no. He said, we're going to do a tour, and we've got to wait because we want to work it out. We want to do it. And that song is sitting there, I'm sure. I wanted to ask him. We didn't get to interview him tonight, but I wanted to ask him. That's him sitting in his bed. I know he is, wondering, is this it? Yeah. And that song is about a floating off consciousness. But I will say this, and that's a softer, sweeter song, but with the heaviness, Mike's voice, he also, because what happened in his gut, he sings a little different now. And he has to support his vocals different. Everything that happened up there was post-death experience. And so for me, set of the night so far, it was everything I hoped it would be. It was amazing. And they opened with the opening track from the new album. And then they went on to older shit, which was even fucking cooler. So, yeah, those guys are feeling it, dude. And I was watching his leg before he was getting ready to tap some of his pedals. And it was fucking, he had what's the word I'm looking for? He had like
a beam of electricity like running through him or something. Like it was like he was like possessed by some greater amount of energy than.
So one thing I thought was really interesting, having not seen them, was his unique setup on the stage and the layout of the way he stands. And he sets his, the speakers and stuff sort of perpendicular to the stage, and his microphone too. So it's more like he's singing, and you get the profile view of him, which I thought was just a unique, different thing. And you're like, I've seen tons of bands, and it's very rare that you have this sort of setup. And I thought it was really interesting to see that.
Here's what my mildly closing statement is: there are 2 artists here tonight. One is Tom G. Warrior, and he is an artist. And honestly, Mike's an artist. Mike's a fucking artist, dude. And, well, actually, I was pretty dumbfounded by the set, too, but I expected to be. I should probably go spend some money on some merch just to keep them rolling. I don't know.
I might be buying a hoodie.
Is the tour moving on after this? I assume it is.
Yeah. They go through the Northwest after this, so they kind of work their way up the coast. I would just say that I don't even think saying that he's an artist is like quite really captures it. It really feels to me always like I'm part of like the cult of Yob when we see them. It's like the most potent religious experience that you can have, I think, with music. Like, there's really something very unique about seeing them that don't get with any other band. And the records don't capture that. So if you're listening to this, you should absolutely go see Yob if you get a chance. Then it'll make sense. You'll join the cult, hopefully.
And I'll second that, having only discovered them on the latest album, and it didn't fully click. Seeing them live, like literally, I leaned over to Jay like, "Holy shit! This is all I'm going to be listening to for the next 2 weeks, and I am going to go back to the first album and work my way forward."
Actually,
because
let me add one more thing.
it's unbelievable.
He was sick. He's sick. He's got a cold or something right now. Yeah, that's why he's carrying.
Yeah,
that
we actually saw him carrying a vaporizer to flush out his lungs because he's sick. Yeah.
He's sick tonight, and he played that. He came out and did that.
And I even mentioned to Jay, I leaned over and said, "This is a guy who we know for a fact is sick, and he is headbanging and he's screaming, and the guy literally does 3 different vocal styles in one like phrase. So he goes from like death grunt to this scream type vocals to like standard clean vocals
To beauty.
To
I
beauty,
mean,
yeah.
it's beautiful what he does. Yeah.
like unbelievable. So
I just wanted to add about how they set up. I think that really translates in terms of it being a personal experience, and you know, every musician says this, but I really think Yob translates it in a really great way, which is that they're making music for themselves, and the fact that people dig it is great, but they're a unit, and he's experiencing. They are all experiencing that music together, and when he faces, it's Alan, I can't remember.
Well, it's almost like they're a triangle for the 3 points, and they set up facing each other kind of in a way, and then they each have their own sort of triangular portion of that not quadrant, but yeah.
Aaron, I'm very sorry that I don't remember your name. I'm really drunk. It's a beer fest, and you're my favorite fucking bass player.
We've all had a lot to drink.
Oh man, I feel terrible. But
anyway,
the point is that it's a very personal thing, and I think the fact that they feel what they're feeling on stage translates, and it's not shtick, man. If you know Mike and you know Yob and you know the band, Aaron, of course, you know that it's not about. They're not trying to project anything other than what they want to feel on stage, and it translates so well.
You know, I want to add about Mike, who came out, and I saw him, and I was like, Mike! And he...
Just like that, by the way. He screamed.
But he made a beeline to Dan after a minute. But first, he let me speak to him, and I said, hey, man, can we do an interview? And he said, you know what? And I actually respect this. He was like, you know what? Not tonight. I can't do it tonight. But he was like, if you will Skype an interview, I'm happy to do that. But it was his way of saying, I don't have it tonight. I'm not feeling well. Let's do a show. And I have to tell you, there was nothing put off about that. I did not feel in any way. I felt like almost respected in the moment, because he was just like, I feel you, brother. I hear you. I see you. I've got a show to do tonight. I got to do it. I don't have much energy. I'm going to fucking pull this off. I felt moved by meeting him. And the Decibel article, if you haven't read it, is moving. And, I'm a big lover of the band, but I'm a fan of the guy now. Not as big as I thought he was. And I've seen pictures of him. He's got the good long hair. I don't know how you keep it in your 40s, but you do, apparently, some of us. And when I've got a picture with him, he's about my size. I thought he was 12 feet tall. But that says something about his music.
I will also say that this is testament to what they were doing and everything we're talking about right now being successful. I was waiting in line for the bathroom. There was just this guy behind me who was like, what did you think of that last band? I was like, they're like, basically they're gods, you know? And he was like, yeah, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that. It was like, felt like their heart was like ripped open. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly it. It's just, you feel it. Like it's everything. Yeah.
Bathroom talk from Phil.
Really didn't even, he clearly didn't even know like the band like at all beforehand, you know. But he walked out and he understood the experience.
And I second that. That's basically how I felt in this aspect.
And that
I kept
moves
leaning
me-
over to Jay and being like, this clicked.
Am I? Yeah. Well, I would say this. We still got Tom Gabriel Warrior tonight.
That's up next. So
I mean, and I do say again, he's the other artist here tonight, and this is a great way to end the weekend. By the way, I talked to Tom. I asked him, "Are you going to do Dethroned Emperor?" He said, "Of course." I said, "Are you going to do Procreation of the Wicked?" He said, "Of course." I said, "Are you going to do something from Monotheist?" He said, "Of course." We're in for a good night, boys.
Yes. And to all of you listening, thinking that we only interview Khemmis, it's because literally they are all hanging out here. They are hanging out and mingling, and we keep running into everybody, and they are present at all times at this show, and it's awesome.
Because back to what Phil was saying earlier about Bathroom Line Guy, is that Decibel brings together a lot of different like genres of metal, subgenres and what have you, and people who like just Celtic Frost or just the Black Dahlia Murder or just Testament thrash or whatever, and the way that they mix up the lineup, it's really an unbelievable experience for people who like heavy music, and even people who don't like heavy music. Because if you haven't seen Yob, you don't really like to. You don't need to like heavy music. You can just experience that and have a really great time. So it's a great festival.
It's great. Definitely go to Philly.
No, not really. The whole fucking experience of all of this is totally unique to the U.S. It feels like it's like a very there's so much individualism in all the acts, but everybody can come together and still sort of represent what it is that they want to represent and get along with each other and come together. And this kind of gives me hope about sort of like the future of everything in like a strange, fucked up kind of way.
Go with it, dude. I would say this: it's still a little bit hidden. Enjoy it while it's still a little bit hidden. I know there's a lot of people here tonight, but this is still kind of our thing for a minute. So, I mean, yeah, and it's the same thing in Philly, I think. So,
yeah. Looking forward to Philly and stuff, and in general, this is a great festival, and it's a just good way to run into bands and run into people, and everybody's open, and you talk to people, and it's fantastic. If you see your hero, they're coming up. Yeah, all right.
20 minutes from Celtic Frost.
Let's get some beer. This is John.
This is Jay. Go ahead. We're checking in here, and we just happen to have the drummer from Skeletal Remains with us.
Yeah, it's Charlie Corwin.
Corin, yeah, that's how you say it.
We caught your set. It was awesome. I actually was very much looking forward to it. It's one of the most your latest. The album is fantastic, and so now we're just hanging out after the Yob set, and we wanted to check in and see what you thought about Decibel Metal Beer Fest.
I thought it's been a killer fest. I thought I was feeling kind of stiff during our set. It's actually my 11th show playing with these guys. I've been filling in for the tour.
We are aware for what it's worth. We know you're new. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been touring with Black Dahlia Murder. It's cool playing with these guys. They're a real pro band. They have their shit together, so it's nice.
Well, I'll say this: the first Skeletal album was great. The second one was way fucking even a step up. Yeah, and how did you get hooked up with them?
I think just from like mutual friends playing in bands. My buddy Eddie was actually supposed to fill in for them. He played with them at Quebec Death Fest, and he couldn't do the tour. And then he hit me up kind of last minute, and I didn't have much going on, so yeah, I learned the songs in a few weeks, and then now we're playing.
Were you playing with someone else before, or like?
I have a few bands. My main band that I play in is called Ascended Dead. We're from San Diego. And then I also play in a band called Funebrarum, and then I kind of do session drums for a few different bands. Yeah.
Do you think you're going to continue on with the band and stuff?
I'm doing this tour that ends on the 21st, I think. And then I'm touring with them in January as well with Terrorizer. It's 3 weeks in Europe, so.
Awesome, dude. You just mentioned before we turn on the recorder that you have some recording stuff that you do. Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah, so I moved to Portland, Oregon, like 2 or 3 years ago, and yeah, I have a recording studio. So it started in my basement, and now I record out of like a bigger studio in Portland. So I record a lot of the death metal bands there.
You get to do anything cool or fun in the last couple of years recording?
Yeah, I've done a lot of the local Portland bands. I've been putting out records. There's the band Torture Rack. We just put out an album. Cemetery Lust, Petrification. There's a lot of great bands in Portland. Kind of overwhelming how many bands there are in Portland, like death metal bands.
Well, Yob, we were just talking about Yob. Yob, I believe, is up by Portland. So, yeah.
All right, well, we got to pause here. Someone's like ducking in. So,
we'll cut it off.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for talking. And are you looking forward to Triptychon?
That's gonna be great.
Of course you are. It was nice talking to you, dude. I hope you stick with the band.
Yeah, great,
yeah, everybody was like really appreciative of how you played. Trust me. Cool. Nice job, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was a great set. You did awesome on drums too. So, man.
Cool, man. Have a good one.
And so this is Jay. I am safe and warm at home. We had recorded the last few minutes for the wrap up of the Decibel Fest, but it was a long weekend involving lots of beer, and apparently the button didn't get thoroughly pushed on the recording device, so that leaves me here to do the wrap up on my own. Before I get too far, I want to thank George for having done the editing on all the sound files I sent him. They were chaos, I'm sure of that, so good job, George, I'm sure. I want to apologize to everybody else who's listening to this that I did not take George's advice. There's a little something we put over our microphone on our recording devices, and I've only just purchased this one. But I did have what we call the cougar bush with me, and I didn't use it. I thought it was only good for wind, but the P sounds are probably pretty punishing on all of the points leading up to this point now, if you've listened to this far. So my apologies for that. A little bit of a learning curve here. We're still getting good, I think, at doing recordings in the field, and we'll just continue to improve. So for a close-up, though, I'll just say the Triptychon set was absolutely devastating. They, of course, did nothing but Celtic Frost songs. Everybody loved it. Sergiy recorded it on video and took a lot of professional-style photographs that once I get together with him, I'll try to post on the page. I saw Phil from Khemmis after the Triptychon set. He was one of the first people I ran into, and he said to me, that was the heaviest thing I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, the thing about Tom is that he really believes in slowing everything down. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Tom had bought some of the first Venom albums he had were 45s, and he discovered they sounded heavier if he listened to them at 33. And there are people who sort of complain. They don't often... There was a Celtic Frost reunion tour, of course, and now this. But I heard complaints both times from people who were really upset with like how slow they played Procreation of the Wicked. But that's a very deliberate choice by Tom. He feels that adds a kind of heaviness to it. And I even heard once that he felt he regretted that Monotheist was not a slower record. Other than that, he was very proud of the record. And some other they did songs off of To Make a Therion. They did more songs off Morbid Tales than any other record. They did 3 songs off of Monotheist, a few other odd things. It was fantastic. It was so good, and I'm so glad I got to witness it, and I'm so glad I get to see Triptychon with the boys on the East Coast. Overall, the fest was a blast. I cannot pitch Decibel Metal and Beer Fest enough to people who think they might like to go. You get your little cup, you get all the beer you can drink, and you try a million different beers. You wander in and out of the shows. There's going to be some bands you don't care about, but there's going to be plenty of bands you do. The lineup is already announced for next year, or excuse me, well, it is next year, but it'll be spring, and then hopefully they'll do LA again in the end of the year. The fest itself was really well organized on Decibel's part, but they had a lot of problems with the Wiltern Theater. Albert was visibly upset. Albert from Decibel about how they handled everything from press passes to how the beer people were allowed to operate, because apparently the bartenders were pissed off. They didn't understand with this beer fest nobody would be buying beer from the bartenders. just a couple other quick notes. I'm not sure if it was previously mentioned. I haven't listened to the files, but John, Travis, and I, John Travis Burkholder, there wasn't somebody with us named Travis. John TB, we call him. And getting ready to go into the Celtic Frost set, ran into Danny Carey from Tool and spent, I think, 10 or 15 minutes talking to him, and he was a lot of fun. A couple inside scoops from you, for you. I can tell you right now that it was very clear to me that Danny is not entirely sure they'll ever get anything done past the current album that they're getting ready to put out. He's really excited about it. He thinks it's the greatest thing they've ever done. He also just talked to us about football and a bunch of other stuff. He was the nicest guy, and he seemed more than pleased to just sit there and shoot the shit with us. He was punching us in the shoulder and drinking Jack and Coke. I believe he was there because his wife is from Portland, and she does a festival up there every year, and she would surely know Mike from Yob, I feel sure. So they probably came out to support Yob. Highlights for me: Yob, Triptychon, Pig Destroyer. Got to talk to the guys in Pig Destroyer, which you've already heard. We had a great time. I regret that the boys are not here to finish this off with me. They're all safe in their own domiciles on various parts of the United States. But we had a great time. I'm a Northern California guy, but even though there's a classic grudge match, I love LA. LA is a great place to go. When it comes next year, I hope to see some of you there. Met a lot of great people I know through the podcast, people I know through our Facebook page. It was a great time. So here's hoping we'll see some of you at the next Decibel and Metal and Beer Fest in Philadelphia, and we'll be looking forward to it, and peace.